It's time to dive into the biggest announcements from WWDC 2023. Hey friends, I'm Tasia Custode and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I share tech tips and app reviews. If you missed the Apple Keynote and you don't have hours and hours to spend re-watching it in its entirety, don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm rounding up the best announcements from WWDC 2023. Let's go! First up is our Mac category, and we're gonna start with the 15-inch MacBook Air. The all-new, bigger 15-inch MacBook Air is only 11.5 millimeters thick and just over 3 pounds. It's got 2 Thunderbolt ports, MagSafe charging, and a headphone jack. Plus, it comes in 4 finishes. This baby is powered by the M2 chip and has up to 18 hours of battery life. The 15-inch MacBook Air starts at $1299 US and is available to order now. Next up, Mac Studio has gotten a major update. Mac Studio will now feature an M2 Max chip with up to 25% faster performance than M1 Max. But that's not all. There will now be an M2 Ultra chip. That's basically 2 M2 Max chips combined, which provides a much greater and faster performance and up to 192 gigabytes of unified memory. It's pretty impressive what the M2 Ultra chip can do and how fast it can do it. Editors, this could be a game changer. Wowza. Mac Studio starts at $1999 US. But not to be outdone, Mac Pro is now finally available with Apple Silicon. Rejoice, my Mac Pro fans. This means every Mac Pro is equipped with the M2 Ultra chip. The Mac Pro will have 8 Thunderbolt ports, plus there are 6 open expansion slots that support Gen 4, so you can really customize your Mac Pro however you see fit. The Mac Pro starts at nearly $7,000 US. All right, it's time to move on to one of my favorite categories of announcements from WWDC 2023, and that's iOS 17, and ooh, there are some major updates here. First, the phone app is seeing a major upgrade, including personalized contact posters. So these are like custom lock screen wallpapers, essentially, that work with photos and Memoji and feature that dynamic look we've all come to love. Plus, this will be how your contact card looks too, which is really cool. But iOS 17 is also going to give us live voicemail. Now, when someone calls and leaves a message, you will see a live transcription in real time on your screen as they speak. You'll even be able to answer that call right from there too. How neat is that? But one of my favorite iOS 17 updates is an update to FaceTime. I have been waiting for this feature for so long. You'll now be able to leave a video message when someone doesn't answer a FaceTime call. Yes, finally. And there are updates to messages as well. Search is getting filters, and you'll have the ability to jump to the top of the conversation of messages you've missed, a little catch-up feature like we've got in WhatsApp that is just so handy. Replies will be easier too, and there are now transcribed audio messages. So this is really great if you can't listen to an audio message right away, or hello accessibility feature we should have had from the start. And there will also be location sharing directly from the conversation. Okay, this next iOS 17 feature is for all my fellow murderinos out there who are always checking in with friends and family to make sure we've arrived to our destination safely. Do I watch too much Dateline? Comment below. But in all seriousness, check-in is a great new feature that allows you to do just that and start a check-in with someone to let them know when you get home safely. And if something happens along the way, it recognizes that you're delayed and it's gonna share some helpful information with you. Plus, if you have not arrived at your destination or you don't respond, it will share your current location, the route you took, your battery level, and cell service status to your contact so they will know if you can take their call. How sick is this? For real, I check in all the time with my family and friends. And on top of this, I would also recommend that you have a little check-in or safety code that you can text to say you are safe or not safe. Yes, really. I friggin' love this check-in feature, but there are still more messages updates to cover. There will be a plus button to the left of your messages bar, and it'll expand to show you the things you share the most. And then if you swipe up, you'll see all the other iMessage apps there too. This is like a little new shelf experience. There's also new stickers in iOS 17 too. So now all emoji can be stickers, and you can even pick from your photos and turn those into stickers too. AirDrop is also getting an update with something called Name Drop. With Name Drop, you just bring your phones close together in order to share contact info quickly and easily. And by the way, this is going to work between iPhone and Apple Watch too. And autocorrect is also getting an upgrade where you'll be able to easily tap an underlined word to go back to what you originally typed. Because what the duck doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it? But speaking of what the duck, iOS 17 will use machine learning to better predict what it is you're trying to say in that context. And cooler yet, we're also getting one of my favorite Google-like features, predictive inline text that you can use to finish your sentences or words by just tapping the spacebar. iOS 17 will also bring us a journal app that will be customized to each specific user, as well as something they're calling standby mode. Standby mode will turn your iPhone into a smart display. So think of standby mode like a souped up alarm clock that gives Echo Show a run for its money, because standby is activated by turning your phone sideways and charging it. You can display the clock, smart stack widgets, and more. And it will adapt to low light for you during the night. So the whole point here is to make your phone more useful when it's not in your hand. And finally, there will be updates to Siri, so instead of having to say, hey, we can just say her name. I can only imagine the issues this will cause. And moving on to iPadOS 17, there are some great updates here too. There will now be interactive widgets that will allow you to take action without opening an app. And the lock screen is getting some fun wallpaper upgrades, including live photos that will play in this really cool slow motion when you wake up your iPad. But also right from the lock screen, we're going to have live activities. So you can keep track of, say, a food order or maybe travel plans, your timer, and so on. And speaking of timers, iPadOS 17 will now let us set multiple timers. Amen. Plus, there are some cool PDF collaboration features coming to iPad as well. But moving on to macOS Sonoma. There are some new screensavers here that show aerial views of some cool locations, and then when you log in, that screensaver neatly settles into the background desktop. You'll also be able to drag and drop your widgets onto your desktop if you want them there all the time. And you'll even be able to access your iPhone widgets on Sonoma too. There will also be new video conferencing effect features where you can overlay yourself over your presentation and change the shape and size of your overlay. And it'll even separate you from your background so you can move about and present. This is pretty cool. And you can even send reactions during a meeting. Some other cool things of note are that AirPlay will soon be available in select hotels, and SharePlay is happening in cars. So now when a driver's iPhone is connected to CarPlay, any passenger's iPhone will automatically suggest joining their session. Finally! We're nearing the end, I swear. There are just 2 more categories to cover, and we will start with watchOS 10. We will be able to create smart stacks from any watch face by turning the digital crown. And this smart stack will change throughout the day based on what's relevant to you throughout your day. It's using some machine learning to do this. There are going to be some new watch faces, And there are also some updates to some of the workout features, including in hiking, there's a 3D view of saved waypoints, which is pretty cool. There's also going to be a mindfulness app where you'll be able to log how you're feeling in the moment and overall throughout your day. And moving on to what's arguably the biggest announcement from WWDC 2023, and that's the announcement of Apple's Vision Pro. This is the kind of AR VR headset mix that Apple's really pushing as the next generation of computing devices. It's really something you have to see to believe. Vision Pro is, in a nutshell, a wearable computing device that blends the real world with the digital world. So when you wear Vision Pro, you're going to have a home screen right there in front of you where you can work, watch shows, play games, and more. And you can blend out more of that real world to create an all-encompassing environment. You can control how immersed you are simply by turning that digital crown. So you just browse the system simply by looking. So when you look at an app icon, it will activate it for you. And then you can use your fingers to tap and scroll, or you can use your voice to dictate what you'd like to do. Vision Pro will also have a feature called Eyesight. So when another person walks into the room, the headset recognizes that and then shows your eyes, or I guess a digital representation of your eyes, which is really wild. It can also signal to another person that you're fully immersed in an experience. When someone is nearby, they will automatically appear in your view for you. So you can use Vision Pro with Mac, iPad, and iPhone, and everything is going to be synced using iCloud. So picture working, and now all your screens are as big as you want them to be without having to have a big secondary screen or device with you at all times. Your screens and apps are with you in your room, scaled however you want. Now you can of course use Vision Pro for FaceTime as well, and it's Apple's first ever 3D spatial camera, and you can watch 3D movies as well. What's important to understand here is that Vision Pro is, as I said, its own computing device, so it runs on something called Vision OS. It's a spatial computer that runs on the M2 chip and an all-new R1 chip that Apple developed to help with 3D mapping and eye tracking, as well as reducing motion sickness that's common with other AR headsets. So this is really being marketed as a game changer in the AR world that'll change how you work, live, and play. Vision Pro is gonna cost you $3,500 US, and it'll be available sometime in 2024. I don't want to bias anyone here, so I just want to know what your thoughts are on Vision Pro. What do you think of it? Spill all that tea in the comments below, and you better make it piping hot. So those are, in my humble opinion, the biggest announcements from WWDC 2023. And now I want to hear from you. What did you think of the Apple Keynote? What were your favorite announcements? Let everyone know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, well, I want to know. So give it a like, a share, or leave that comment below. You can click right about here to subscribe to my channel, and here for even more content just like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.